Give me a head start, or do I need to be
You
introduced?
go right ahead.
Okay.
Head coach Wes Moore.
Thank you. Yeah, we hadn't played in 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks, and at times offensively that showed. But I thought we made a nice run in the second quarter, and then the second half, for whatever reason, we got a little stagnant out there. But give Maine a lot of credit. You know, they can shoot the basketball, that's for sure. We have a hard time getting out to the three-point line off some of the handoffs and some of the things they were doing. So they've had a great year. I think they've come in here winning 14 straight, 18 out of 19. So congrats to them on a great season, and we're excited about the opportunity to move on and look forward to Monday night.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Yes, sir.
So, yesterday, Kiara said that she was confident in your ability, Elissa, to play in the tournament and do well. So, how do you feel like getting that kind of praise and then playing the way you did today?
Well, that means a lot coming from a great player like Key, and I think that just today we take it for what it was and just keep playing and look forward to it.
Yes, sir. There.
Kiara, you didn't have the best ACC tournament, I guess, that you wanted to have, but then tonight you had a really strong performance. So how big was it for you to come out and have a great performance today?
Like Coach said, we got about 2 weeks of just practicing and making sure our bodies felt really good, and I think that the rest definitely did me some justice, and I'll really come out compete tonight or today.
Either one of you can answer, but how are you finding, obviously with the bench situation the way it is, as it's progressed throughout the year in terms of your ability, your endurance, and so forth? And have you guys gotten into a routine as to what coach is going to do in terms of subs, or how you guys are going? Is it kind of more of the feel that you guys have, or what he's got, or it's kind of a combination? Because there has to be some mix there.
Kiara, could you answer that, please?
I think he does a great job of getting us out when we need to. We've been having a short bench for a while now, so he definitely knows how to rotate us and utilize us when he needs to.
Elissa, you guys are a bigger team than Maine. Do you feel like you were really able to take advantage of that size mismatch in the paint?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we focused on before the game was just pounding it inside.
Yes, ma'am.
Elissa, you had 6 points at the end of the first half, and then at the end of the third quarter you had 14. So what made you step up more in during that quarter?
I think my teammates just did a good job of giving me the ball and just telling me don't dilly-dally, just go up and shoot the ball. And so focusing on that, and I was just able to go up.
Kiara, this could have been your last game here in Reynolds. Were there any emotions at all running through you before the game, during the game, thinking about that?
I didn't necessarily think about that before the game. I just
Thanks for bringing that up.
I try to just have a cool head going into every game, and I know he doesn't like that all the time, but I think it helps me come out and perform the way I do.
Yes, sir.
This is for either of you. That run you guys had in the second quarter to finish it out and go into halftime, I think it was 13-0. It was capped off by, I think it was Kai had the 4-point play and then the 3 at the buzzer. Just tell us a little bit about the atmosphere you guys felt and what it was like going in the locker room with that kind of momentum.
Elissa, could you take that, please?
Yeah, I think our defense was just turning into offense, and with those big shots and big plays by Kai, we were able to build up the energy, and Reynolds had a lot of energy, so it fueled us into that halftime.
Yes, sir.
Have either one of you seen Kentucky play this year, and what are you looking forward to about Monday?
Have either of you seen them? Kiara, could you answer that then?
Well, for the little bit I saw that they pressed the whole game. So that's something that we've seen throughout this year, but they also played a different conference, so it's probably a different style of play than what we're used to, but I think we're ready for it.
Any other questions? All right, ladies, you're excused. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. And we will now open the floor up for questions for Coach Moore. Yes, sir.
Coach, can you tell us a little bit about the way that Maine kind of evolved over the season? Because it was almost a 40-point game the last time you played them. Turned into a 12-point win for you guys today.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, we didn't execute offensively near as well, didn't shoot the ball near as well today. In that first game, it really was a perfect storm. They struggled to hit shots, and we were, going into the fourth period, we were shooting well over 70% for the game. I mean, we were on pace to break all kinds of records, and obviously we rotated the lineup some and didn't shoot it as well in the fourth period. But you know, they're a team that beat Carolina by 12. They played Duke a 3-point game, so we had a lot of respect for them. And you know, again, they did a great job and made it tough for us to execute offensively, and consequently they were able to hang around, especially when they were knocking down threes. So you know, got to give them credit. Their coaches improved them a lot, and I guess we've gone backwards. I don't know.
Other questions for Coach Moore? Freddie?
Follow that up real quick. Defensively, were you guys content to let them take 37 threes? Was that part of the game plan?
The first game they took 41, so we were really focused on knocking that down. Now, you know, again, got to give them a lot of credit. And I may butcher a name here, Rosignol and Sar. I mean, goodness, you know, 5 for 9, 4 for 8 from 3. They did a real good job. Their coach has done a great job of putting them in a situation with the handoffs and all, where it's difficult, and the back pick and the fade pick. And, you know, if you take away the fade, then they're going to curl you to the basket. And if you take away the dive to the rim, they're going to fade and look for the 3. So they do a lot of good things offensively. Their scheme is good, and they hit the shots, and so hats off to them. You know, we tried to keep our post in there some in the paint to try to take away some of the backdoor cuts, hoping that we do a better job against the 3 and against the fade and that sort of thing. But it's still hard to guard. So, like I said, they did a better job, and we didn't score near as many as we did the first time. Also, rebounding. First time we played them, we really doubled them up on the boards, and today that was a lot closer. So there's some things we can look at, but like I said, we hadn't played in 2 weeks. They played last weekend in their conference tournament, so I think sometimes that keeps you in a more of a normal routine. So hopefully Monday night we'll be able to get a little bit more into a groove and get some momentum.
Let's go over there and then we'll get you.
Wes, following up on the question I gave the players about the endurance and the rotation, you've gotten used to this now. It's got to be a routine that either you have, and then you react as you go toward the game. Players seem to adjust to that fairly well. Is that?
Well, we don't sub a whole lot. I mean, I don't think it's any secret, but you know, if you look at, there's a lot of teams, men's teams. That play 6 people, and I'm talking good ones. I know Duke has done that a lot in the past. So you just got to go with what you have depth-wise. We've got some kids on the bench that are really young and inexperienced, and it's hard to throw them in the fire sometimes. But I think especially with the media timeouts, TV timeouts that are so long, you know, if somebody's tired, I say, okay, we'll shoot a free throw, catch your breath right here. But you know, again, try to keep an eye on it. In a perfect world, I'd be able to rotate the guards out for you know, a couple of minutes a piece each half. But it also depends how the game's going, the ebb and flow. And if we've got momentum, sometimes you don't want to touch it, and so you let it ride a little bit. But it is hard on them. You know, we just don't have near the depth we did to start the season.
You held Maine's 2 leading scorers, Milan Sutton scored in the first half. So what was the game plan?
Well, I think Kiara Leslie did a great job on Milan. And, you know, it's funny, this same thing happened the first time we played them. I thought, you know, Dee Dee did a great job on Sutton. And like I said, Key did a great job on Milan. And, you know, very similar numbers to the first time we played them. So I think you got to give them a lot of credit. The other players on the team, they recognize that those two are really good attacking the rim, and so I think they do a good job of getting the gaps and kind of building a wall. But I think that's the biggest thing. And you know, sometimes maybe you just get a break too. Maybe the shot didn't go down, but I thought just from watching it during the game and not seeing the film, I think those two players did a great job.
Do you have a question?
Yes. How big was Kai's performance today, especially at the
yeah.
end of the first half, and how much has she stepped up with the players
Yeah.
you've had out?
Yeah, you know, she got 5 rebounds in the first half. She hit those 2 big threes in the last 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. Really happy for her because, again, she's another one that's kind of been thrown in the fire this year and just continue to grow. And she's had some big games for us, and it was great to see her do that today. And you know, last year she did a nice job against Maryland in the game to go to the Sweet 16. So. You know, she stepped up in some of these big games, and happy for her. And definitely the first half we needed it. We needed some momentum, and that gave us a real lift going into halftime.
Back in the back.
What do you know about Kentucky and Coach Mitchell?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I know Matthew Mitchell a long, long time. Tell you a little story. When I first took the UT Chattanooga job, he had been a high school coach for years, and he was hired by Pat Summitt to be a GA at Tennessee, and one of my assistants knew him pretty well. And when we moved to Chattanooga, decided to put sod in ourselves, and so I hired guys to help me, and Matthew Mitchell came over for $100 and helped lay sod, okay? He's making a little more than that now. But no, Matthew's a good guy. He's done a great job for a long time there at Kentucky. Ryan Howard, freshman of the year in the country, is a kid from Chattanooga that I've known forever and tried to recruit really hard. Never got her over here for a visit, or I'm sure she would have fell in love with NC State if we'd have got her over here. But you know, she's had an unbelievable year for them. And you know, as Key mentioned, we have been preparing. We had a week since we found out who we were playing almost, so we have watched a lot of film and prepared for whoever we might play. So this week we had several practices where we definitely worked on press offense and tried to prepare for that a little bit as well. That's what you do in this time of year with only one day in between games. You kind of got to work on more than one team